Right now, somewhere in the world, the person is lying awake at 2 a.m., drenched in sweat, flipping their pillow to the cool side for the 5th time and failing. They'll check their phone, they'll turn on a fan, maybe they'll even open the freezer just to stand in front of it for a few seconds of relief. And here's the question that's about to change how you see every hot, sleepless night for the rest of your life. What did humans do before any of that existed? No air conditioning, no electric fans, no cold showers on demand, no ice. For over 300,000 years, our ancestors faced brutal heat that could kill with absolutely nothing we'd recognize as cooling technology. And yet, they survived, they slept, they functioned, they built civilizations in some of the hottest places on Earth. So either they had a secret we've completely forgotten, or maybe, and this is the unsettling part, we're the ones doing it wrong. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand your own body in a way you never have before. And the next time you can't sleep because of the heat, you're going to know exactly why and exactly what to do about it. Let's go back, way back. Picture the savannas of East Africa tens of thousands of years ago. No shelter except what nature offers. No blankets except animal hide. And temperatures that could swing from scorching heat by day to surprisingly cold nights. You'd think early humans were at the mercy of the weather, powerless, suffering. But here's the first thing that should surprise you. Ancient humans weren't fighting the heat. They were listening to it, because heat isn't just discomfort, it's information. It tells your body something. And for most of human history, people were far more in tune with that information than we are today. Here's what I mean. Modern humans sleep in sealed bedrooms, under blankets, often in climate-controlled boxes that stay at nearly the same temperature all night long. But ancient humans didn't sleep like that. They slept in rhythm with the environment. And that rhythm is the first clue to what they actually did when it got too hot. As the sun went down, temperatures dropped, sometimes dramatically, especially in desert regions. So the truth is, in many ancient environments, nighttime heat wasn't even the primary problem. The real problem was daytime heat. And what they did about that is where this story gets interesting. In extremely hot regions, think early human populations in Africa, the Middle East, and later civilizations in Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley, people developed something we've almost entirely lost today: a completely different relationship with time itself. They didn't fight the hottest hours of the day. They surrendered to them. In many hot climates, activity would pause during peak heat. People would rest, seek shade, slow down, not because they were lazy, but because they understood something modern productivity culture refuses to accept. The body is not built to perform at full capacity in extreme heat. Full stop. And this is where it gets personal for you, because right now, in your own life, on a hot night when you can't sleep, what do? You probably fight it. You lie there, frustrated, forcing your eyes shut, getting more agitated by the minute. Ancient humans didn't fight their environment like that. They adapted their behavior to it. And that single mindset shift is going to matter a lot more later in this video. But let's get back to the actual heat, because surviving hot nights required real physical strategies, and some of them are almost unbelievable. Take shelter design. This wasn't random. Ancient builders, long before modern engineering, were already mastering something scientists now call passive cooling. In the ancient Indus Valley civilization, homes were built with thick mud brick walls. Thick walls do something fascinating. They absorb heat slowly during the day and release it slowly at night, which means the inside of the house stays cooler than the blazing world outside. In parts of the ancient Middle East, homes were built partly underground or with high ceilings and small windows placed strategically to create airflow, natural ventilation systems built with nothing but observation and trial and error. And in ancient Persia, engineers built something extraordinary: wind-catching towers that pulled cool air down into homes centuries before electricity existed. Let that sink in for a second. While you're lying in bed tonight, fumbling with the remote control, trying to find the perfect AC setting, people thousands of years ago had already engineered airflow systems to solve the exact same problem with mud, wind, and geometry. We didn't invent the need to cool down. We just outsourced the thinking. Now here's where the story shifts from architecture to something much more personal, the human body itself. Because ancient humans didn't just build around the heat, their bodies were also doing something incredible without them even realizing it. Sweat. It sounds simple, almost embarrassing, something we try to hide, wipe away, mask with deodorant. But sweating is one of the most sophisticated survival tools evolution ever gave us. Humans are one of the only species on Earth with millions of sweat glands covering nearly our entire bodies. Most animals can't do what we do. Dogs pant. Many mammals can only cool small areas. But humans, we can regulate heat across our entire skin surface. This wasn't an accident. Scientists believe this trait evolved because early humans were persistence hunters, chasing prey for miles under brutal sun in heat that would exhaust most other animals. The ability to sweat efficiently let humans outlast creatures that were faster, stronger, and better armed. So when you're sweating on a hot night, frustrated, uncomfortable, you're not malfunctioning. You're using a survival mechanism that once helped your ancestors outrun animals twice their size. But that raises a strange and slightly disturbing question. If our bodies are this well equipped to handle heat, why does it feel so unbearable now? Here's the uncomfortable answer. We've lost our tolerance. Modern life keeps most of us in narrow, artificial temperature ranges almost constantly. Cool homes, cool offices, cool cars. Our bodies rarely get the chance to practice what they were built to do. Ancient humans, by contrast, lived in constant contact with heat. Their bodies were trained, adapted, calibrated to it, the same way a person who exercises regularly can handle physical strain that would exhaust someone sedentary. In other words, the ancient human wasn't tougher than you because of willpower. They were tougher because their environment demanded adaptation, and adaptation is something the human body does astonishingly well if you give it the chance. Now here's a twist that changes the entire emotional tone of this story. Ancient humans didn't just endure hot nights. In many cultures, they built rituals around them. In parts of Africa and the Middle East, communities would gather outdoors in the cooler night air, sleeping under open skies, using natural rock formations or simple structures to catch breezes. Sleeping outside wasn't just practical, it became social. People slept near each other, told stories, passed down knowledge, strengthened bonds, all because the heat pushed them out of their private spaces and into shared ones. Think about that for a moment. The same heat that we now experience as isolating, frustrating, and lonely at 2 a.m. once brought ancient communities closer together. Heat forced connection. Discomfort built culture. And that raises something worth sitting with. Somewhere along the way, as we built better and better technology to escape discomfort, we also built walls, literal and emotional, that separated us from each other. Ancient humans couldn't escape the heat completely, so they adapted together. We can escape it instantly alone behind a locked door and a blasting air conditioner. Which lifestyle actually sounds more resilient to you? Now let's bring this back to you, lying awake on a hot night, unable to sleep. Here's what ancient human behavior actually teaches us. Not folklore, not myths, but patterns backed by real science today. First, cooling the body before sleep matters more than cooling the room. Ancient humans often bathed or rinsed with water before rest, which drops core body temperature, the exact trigger your brain needs to initiate sleep. Second, airflow matters more than raw cold. Cross ventilation, the same principle behind those ancient wind towers, can be more effective than a stagnant, overly cold room. Third, and this is the one most people ignore completely, resistance makes heat worse. The more your mind fights discomfort, tenses against it, spirals in frustration, the more your nervous system stays activated, and the harder sleep becomes. Ancient humans, by necessity, developed something closer to acceptance. Not enjoying the heat, but not battling it emotionally either. That distinction might be the most important lesson in this entire video, because the truth is, most of our suffering with heat and honestly with a lot of things in modern life isn't just about the discomfort itself. It's about our resistance to it. Ancient humans didn't have the luxury of instantly escaping discomfort. So they built shelters, developed rituals, engineered airflow, leaned into community, and let their bodies do what evolution designed them to do. We have every possible tool to escape discomfort instantly, and somehow we still lie awake, more frustrated by heat than people who had none of our technology ever were. So here's the real question this video leaves you with. If ancient humans, with nothing but mud, wind, sweat, and each other, could face something as brutal as extreme heat and still find rest, what does it say about us that we have everything and still struggle to find peace with something as simple as a warm night? Maybe the discomfort was never really the problem. Maybe it's how disconnected we've become from knowing how to sit with it, how to